justice. You may not have heard his name, but you know his works. Born in 1888, by the 1920s, he had already established himself as a vital cog in the great machine building New York City. While he never occupied an elected office, he held over 24 appointed positions in the city and state governments of New York. He was head of innumerable departments and commissions, and during the height of his 40-year reign, controlled nearly every penny spent on developing the transportation infrastructure and park system of New York. He built bridges, tunnels, parkways, highways, byways, and basically any transportation project that revolved around the almighty automobile. Nearly every major headache you have trying to navigate this fair city is because of Moses' obsession with cars and his hatred of public subways, buses, and commuter trains. He managed to change the very fabric of our great state and was heralded as a hero of the middle class during his time, thanks largely to his firm grip on the press, union bosses, and political establishment. To achieve his ends, he displaced thousands of poor and working-class residents, slashed straight through multi-generational farms, and actively enriched the already wealthy of New York, along with those most loyal to him. And he would have gotten away with it too, if it wasn't for one man, our champion, Robert Caro! In 1974, Caro published The Power Broker, a 1,336-page epic detailing how Moses built, maintained, and lost his influence over the greatest city on earth, New York. Tonight, we examine the current state of New York and the legacy of Robert Moses as illuminated by Robert Caro. This is The Power Joker!
Please welcome to the stage the Triborough Authority players!
All right, nice. Okay, let's wrap up the freestyle portion of the class and move on to our final pose, Shavasana. Just lie on your backs. Nice. Feel free to use a blanket beneath your knees if your body is asking for that. Okay, we're gonna be here for 5 minutes, so feel your breath. Okay, relax your body, calm your mind. I also have a brief reading I would like to share with you all. If it doesn't serve you, feel free to tune me out. Robert Moses built 627 miles of roads in and around New York City. This is the story of one of those miles. There is something strange about that mile. It is one of 7 that make up the great highway known as the Cross Bronx Expressway, but the other 6, like most of the other miles of Moses' expressways, are roughly straight. On a road map, a heavy red line slashing inexorably across the delicate crosshatch of streets in the borough's central expanse. Wow, what a long sentence. Let's use that as inspiration to elongate our spines, spreading each vertebrae as far away from its neighbor as possible, like the displaced residents of East Tremont in the Bronx. Nice. There is logic. The ruthless, single-minded logic of the engineer, perhaps, but logic in that line. When it curves, the curves are shallow, the road hastening to resume its former course. Maybe allow your bodies a shallow curve when necessary, while never forgetting its former course. Feel your breath leave your body. Maybe like the tight-knit community of lower middle-class Jewish families left their beloved East Tremont. you have a question? To answer a question that was just asked, yes, I am reading chapter 37 of The Power Broker. Robert Caro's definitive 1975 biography of the late Robert Moses. Oh, again, if it does not serve you, feel free to tune me out. But during that 1 mile, the road swerves, bulging abruptly and substantially toward the north. Yeah. We've had another question, and I have an answer to that question. It's no, I will not be reading the whole book. Class is only 90 minutes long. That's 65 hours shy of what we would need to read the entirety of The Power Broker aloud. Okay, moving forward, I think we can all feel free to ask our questions out loud. Tanya?
How should we use this in our practice?
Great question. I've found that reading The Power Broker increases our empathy, which expands our perspectives. Because most people haven't read about Robert Moses, unless they're interested in city planning or involved in politics, or, I don't know, maybe they're an overly pretentious man who wants to prove he gets it. You know, the type, like, the kind of guy who's always reading the New Yorker on the subway. Yeah. Or wearing DSA merch at the local dive bar. Or maybe he's the only straight dude in your yoga class.
Thank you.
Of course. Oh, and it does look like time is up for class today, everyone. So shake out your body, come back to a sitting position. Yes, thank you so much for letting me teach you today and for teaching me. I really hope to see you all next Monday when I'll be leading a new class, Lunar Vinyasa and Solar Renewable Energy Programs.
Tonight on The Power Joker, comedians Amanda Garden and DC Pierson. From Brooklyn Legal Services, Liam McSweeney. From the Ridgewood Tenants Union, Raquel Namuche. From Housing Justice for All, Elisa Martinez. And musical guest, Josh Nasser. Now please, welcome to the stage your host for the evening, Robert Moses.
Oh! Thank you all very much for being here. I am Robert Moses, and I am the Power Broker. Yes, applause. We cannot afford an applause sign. Now look, our theme tonight is tenant rights. Now, woo for rights.
One person,
woo for rights. Now look, we all know that becoming a tenant in New York is one of the most infantilizing things you will ever do in your adult life. Because suddenly, an apartment that you are paying for, if you want to do anything to it, you have to ask another adult if that's okay. Look, you're telling me I'm a grown adult man that if I want to build a series of highways that go through my apartment that I can drive a little car on, that I have to get permission for that? Please. Because it's a load-bearing wall? Shut up, Barry. Look, housing in New York is a lot like this season of The White Lotus. It's just not working. All right? There are some good ideas, but it's just not working, right? I need those brothers to fuck in episode 1. That's why I'm paying $11.99 a month, Max, is to see siblings screw, S1E1. Anyway, spoiler alert. You know, it's hard to find an apartment in New York. You know, it's tough. A lot of times you got to leave Manhattan, you got to go to the outer boroughs or to New Jersey. Ooh. Thank you for participating in that. Yeah, that's right. Now, look, we've all had conversations with that friend who tells us that they're moving to Hoboken. Oh, yeah, no, we'll see each other all the time. It's just across the river. You'll take the PATH train. It'll be easy. But you know it's the last time you're ever going to see that person. It's been a long time without you, my friend, but I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. Wiz Khalifa, look. The song is about a person who died. That's why it's relevant. You know, housing in New York really comes down to these two groups. Not in my backyard, who don't want any new housing built, and yes, in my backyard, who do want housing built. NIMBY versus YIMBY. And you know, the first time that I heard YIMBY versus NIMBY, I thought there must have been a fight amongst the Teletubbies. We all remember the Teletubbies, right? Dipsy, Poe, Lala, Tinky Winky, gay. Nunu, the vacuum cleaner. Do you remember Nunu? He was a vacuum cleaner. He also made toast. It was the golden age of television. I don't know what to say. You know, if they had brothers on that show, I'm just saying. And look, I hear that they might give the Statue of Liberty back to France, which, look, I hope doesn't happen, but I would love to get my hands on Liberty Island. Oh, I would build a highway on there so fast. Oh, it would take you an hour to get from her heels to her toes. A thrilling ride for a foot fetishist. Because those are the people who really pay the tolls. Now, look, I want to get a sense of who is here tonight, and especially where you came from. Also, I have a quick question. Did anyone else have trouble getting here on the subway today, by any chance? Yeah. You're welcome. That was me. I built the Triborough Bridge instead of fixing the subways. You can read about it in that damn book. Now, look, can I just ask you, sir, what borough do you live in? Manhattan. There we go. Where in Manhattan? You don't have to be specific. You don't have to dox yourself, but Stuytown now. Ooh. We love Stuytown. Because that used to be the Gaslight District. And there's a reason that there ain't no Gaslight District anymore. We knocked that place down and we built Stuytown. Stuytown. Just graduated from NYU? You could live in Stuytown. Stuytown. So your parents are still paying your rent? All right, let's move on. Where do you live?
Crown Heights.
Crown Heights, which is in what borough? Brooklyn. I need sanitizer. Sanitizer. Thank you, Evan.
No, I'm not Evan.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Adrienne.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
this is Adrienne. This is my intern for the evening. Yes. Sure. She hasn't done anything yet. You can have a seat. Yes, I forgot my usual intern, Evan, is getting a butt reduction surgery. He's getting a Brazilian butt down. I don't know what that is. But that's why he's not here. All right, no, look, I'm going to come into the crowd a little bit more. I want to meet the people. Thank you for the house lights. So, sir, what borough do you live in? Brooklyn again. No, it's all right. Why? Why Brooklyn? Oh, the park. Well, I love a park. I built a lot of parks. What did you have? Prospect Park? Prospect Park, beautiful park. Moving on. Is anyone in here? Can I get another Manhattanite? Is there another Manhattanite here? Yeah, back here. What neighborhood in Manhattan do you live in? Midtown Manhattan. You see, that's real Manhattan. See, a lot of people say Manhattan, and they say, where in Manhattan? They go 145th Street. So, I'm sorry. You might as well live on the moon. What do you like about Midtown?
Lots of food options.
Lots of food options.
Lots of slop.
Lots of slop. You see, what I learned when I was building New York City is everybody needs to eat, right? And you can put food anywhere and they'll go eat it. Moving on. Queens. Do we have a Queens person here? Oh, I have vocal, of course. You live in Queens. Where in Queens do you live? Long Island City. A Long Island City. I want you to imagine, what if we took a neighborhood in Queens and got rid of everything good and just built like weird factories that don't do anything? What if it was just like all cement and a high rise? I assume you live in like a big, yes, of course. Did you have a doorman? God bless you. God bless you. All right, yes. Oh, you're being pointed to. What borough do you live in? Yeah, another Queens. Where in Queens do you live? Sunnyside. Oh, my favorite type of eggs. Now, I have an interesting question. Do we have a Staten Islander in the room? Thank God. Oh, wow. Oh, I really scared myself there for a minute. Wow, Jesus Christ. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if somebody came here from Staten Island? Oh, God. All right. Let's do a couple more. Let's do a couple more. You, sir, leaning against this pole. What borough do you live in? Oh, God. Okay. Do we have another Manhattanite? Let's talk to a real person. A woo for Manhattan. A woo, yes. Where in Manhattan do you live? Nope. Listen, Manhattan is, let's say it together, 5th Avenue to 9th Avenue between 34th Street and 54th Street. Anything outside of there is not Manhattan. Just, how do I... Oh, Adrienne? Adrienne, I got lost in the crowd.
Yeah. Well,
Adrienne, I'm trapped with people from Brooklyn.
It's pretty much just a straight line back.
How do I get back?
Really make many turns.
Adrienne, make a noise.
I guess I should...
Can
you follow the sound of my voice?
Make a noise like a bird. Okay. Oh, thank God.
Roll my arm.
Okay. Wow, thank God. I was really scared out there. There were a lot of people from Brooklyn out there. Nobody wears a mask anymore. It's illegal. It is illegal now. All right. Adrienne, how are you doing? Who are you?
Oh, I'm doing great.
Yeah, so you're replacing Evan tonight?
Yeah, just for tonight.
Okay, and what qualifies you to be my intern?
I do think, as far as I know, intern is a pretty entry-level position in most jobs. I do have a college degree.
Oh, in what?
Drama.
Yeah, so, doesn't really count.
Yeah.
Was that free?
No. But
And I just have a random question.
Yeah.
Is the person who paid for that degree in the room tonight?
Potentially.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Do you have a landlord?
I do. Yes, I have two. They're married.
Oh, well,
to
that's
each other.
lovely. What's your relationship like with them?
Oh, they're really nice. They live upstairs. It's just my unit and their unit upstairs, one building. Yeah, they're pretty good. They actually texted me a couple, maybe like a year ago.
They texted you a year ago.
Well,
What a thrilling story so far.
they're very cool about renters' rights. They texted me like information about a candidate in a local election who was pro renters' rights. That was very cool.
Okay, well that's illegal voter fraud. So I will need their phone number and I will be reporting them.
Oh, okay.
Voting's gonna be fine. Now listen, just so you know,
Yeah.
we haven't really met, I don't think.
No, yeah.
Despite that video and despite that goddamn book, people like me. I'm a pretty well-liked person in New York, okay?
Yeah.
I just want you to know that. All right, I have a lot of fans,
Oh, sure.
okay? A lot of people didn't like that book.
Yeah. I haven't read it.
Good. Good.
Cool.
A quick question.
Yeah.
How many people here you can make noise, you can raise your hand, whatever you're comfortable with, have read The Power Broker? Well, I'm going to be disputing a lot of points in it tonight because it is a rag full of lies. Now, we have a really wonderful show tonight, and we're going to keep it moving and grooving. I want you all to please welcome our first guest this evening. She does stand-up all over New York City. Please give it up for Amanda Gorman!
Hello. Okay, it's on. Hey guys, so you heard him correctly, right? My name is Amanda Gordon, not Gorman. Okay? I think this show has some budget, but not enough for that. I am here. She is probably somewhere wearing a blazer. And I'm a feminist, but I do need that girl to get married because she is messing up my SEO. Something I want to talk about, Black privilege. Do we know about that? Black privilege, no. Okay, Black privilege is when people don't sit next to you on public transit. Yeah, because they assume the worst. It's nice, but I've realized that the only white people that are not afraid of sitting next to Black people on the bus are the white people that think natural deodorant is enough. Guys, Tom's is not cutting it. You need to shower too. But Black privilege is sort of predicated on the fact that Black people in general look intimidating, right? You see a group of Black people, that could be a riot. That could be a revolution. You see a group of bitches who look like me, that's an Urban Outfitters sale. I do not look intimidating. I look very approachable. I know I look approachable because people are always coming up to me and asking questions they can Google, right? People are always coming up to me and they're asking me questions like, hey mama, where the nearest Boost Mobile at? Yeah, which to be fair, if you have Boost Mobile, you probably can't Google that shit. For those of you that don't know, Boost Mobile is like the Medicaid of phone plans. Yeah. It's typically an establishment you'll find in an ungentrified neighborhood. He cheers. He's like, keep them all there. No, yeah. That is where I live. I love it. Or as Street Easy likes to call it, sort of a neighborhood to watch. Yeah, a neighborhood to watch, like it's Roku City. I do love my neighborhood. I know it's ungentrified though, because every day I order my Dunkin' iced coffee through a bulletproof bank teller window. I feel like most of y'all have not been there. Okay, something else. I hate how people assume you have a good childhood if you had an American Girl doll. Because I had an American Girl doll, but I was also beat with a belt. Don't worry, guys, it was plastic. But still, it's messed up. It's messed up, because if you can afford an American Girl doll, I feel like you should be able to afford a real leather belt. I'm not crying because it hurts. I'm crying because the belt is from Burlington Coat Factory. What the fuck? That is like if Macy's was an underfunded public school. Does anyone here not know what an American Girl doll is? Okay, cool. All the men are gay. Love that. They're famously these educational dolls, right? They have a line of historical dolls whose backgrounds sort of range from being a child laborer in the Victorian era to being a child of divorce in the 1980s. Yeah, one of them definitely had it worse. It was the child of divorce. Yeah, that is not a unique enough topic for like a college admissions essay. Everyone's parents got divorced, but imagine reading an essay about a girl who worked in the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory. Oh my God, that was like the Brandy Melville of the 1900s. A bunch of 16-year-olds running that shit like the Navy. But when I was a kid, there was one Black historical American Girl doll. Her name was Addie, and she was, say it with me, slave. Thank you. Yeah, she was a slave, so I did not want her. I didn't want to be a slave owner. I was a woke child, sorry. But luckily there was these line of modern American Girl dolls. They were called Just Like You dolls. The whole point of it was to get a doll that looked like you. But the customization, it was pretty limited on these things, right? They came in 3 skin colors, light, medium, and dark. And they also had different facial molds. They had the Addie mold, the classic mold, and the Asian mold. You know, like the 3 races? Yeah. I think that's what they should put on the census. Addie, classic, Asian. That's all we need, guys. I know what you're thinking. What are Mexicans gonna put? Asian. But yeah, the only Just Like You doll that looked like me, it had the dark skin and the Addie facial mold. So I was like, hey, unfortunately, you are not tricking me. That is still a slave. And I do not want her. So I did not get a doll that looked just like me. I did get a doll that looked just like Rashida Jones. Yeah, they say necessity is the mother of invention. I like to think that at 7 years old, I invented colorblind casting. All right, that's my time. I've been Amanda Gordon. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Fantastic. So funny. Rarely does an entire crowd chant slave, but it's okay. It was okay. That was very funny.
That was very funny. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So.
I actually wonder if you have a little time. There is another guest here that isn't on the schedule that wanted to talk to you.
Okay.
She's apparently been trying to get in touch with you quite a bit. I can bring her in.
You see, this is what I'm talking about. The people of New York love me. All right, and they want to come see me. This makes a lot of sense. I'm used to meeting fans. Please bring her in.
Yeah, her name is Lillian Edelstein.
Lisa Edelman sounds great. Always happy to meet fans. I like to be accessible. Thank you. Yes, everybody must pay a toll.
Wow. Robert, I've been calling you. I've been waiting outside your office just to see you.
Wow.
And I'm so glad this is happening here in front of all these people.
Me too.
Fuck you, asshole! That's for East Tremont, you son of a bitch! Everybody with me, shout, East Tremont! East Tremont! You son of a bitch! Put 2! And my name's Lillian Edelstein!
Ouch!
That wasn't what I was expecting. Are you okay?
No! Oh, I mean, thankfully, I've been kicked in the balls so many times that it's all numb down there, so... Wow,
right,
wow.
well-
I feel betrayed
Sorry,
by
I
the
guess-
crowd.
Yeah.
A minute ago, you were chanting slave. You'll just chant anything, won't you? I'm mad at you, but despite that, we're gonna keep things rolling. We're gonna welcome another special guest to the stage. Please put your hands together for the architect who designed New York City.
Good evening, Robert. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, wait a minute, one person designed all of New York City? Yes, except for the parts you don't like. And now you're probably saying to yourself, but wait, New York is hundreds of years old, and you appear to be a man in his mid-30s to early 40s, depending on lighting. Thank you, and thanks to moisturizer. Now you're probably saying, but surely I would have heard about this before. Well, you are hearing about it now, because I am sick and tired for all the credit for New York going to flashy, bold-faced names like Robert Moses and construction workers. Tonight, I want to recenter the conversation around me, and I want that conversation to contain words like genius, maverick, and tall. And so for that reason, I would like to give you a brief overview of some of my proudest achievements. First off, Madison Square Garden. It's not square. It's not a garden. It's not a garden. But it is what Madison wanted for her birthday. Happy birthday, Madison. Grand Central Station. Now, before I built this thing, people would walk into a busy place and say, oh my gosh, it's like Grand Central Station in here. But it didn't mean anything. They sounded insane. I fixed all that with one building. Next we have Governor's Island, a pristine natural preserve where governors can roam freely once their terms expire. Come on, guys, bring the kids. Let them pet Chris Christie. Now, you guys might not believe this, but I even designed Caveat. Yeah, I can prove it to you. Now, I'm going to let you in on a little secret here. In all of my buildings, I put a little hidden Easter egg, okay? Check this out. Ha-ha! It's an egg, like from Easter. Here, do you want this? It's disgusting. Now you can just see, even from that brief overview, why so many people would want to take credit for what I've done. And so many people have. But there are a few main offenders who I'd like to highlight tonight. Guys who supposedly designed New York, but didn't because I did. First off, guy number 1, Frederick Law Olmsted, or as I call him, Frederick Lott's forehead. Now, yes, technically Olmsted did design Central Park, but when I took it over in 1999, here's what it looked like. Yeah, pretty fucking grim. And even if it hadn't slid into disrepair, Olmsted's design was woefully outdated. In his day, child labor was legal. So instead of a playground, there was a work ground featuring the slide into juvenile alcoholism and the seesaw, which of course is short for see this saw? You operate it with your tiny hands for a nickel a week. I cleared all that out, and I installed classic features like the Holden Caulfield brooding hill for precocious children. Now, how many Frannies and Zoes over the years have climbed this thing to shout, my parents' divorce is crummy? And of course, the Supernatural History Museum, where you can see the skeleton of a ghost. Spooky. Guy number 2, Robert Moses. Oh, the supposed master builder of 20th century New York. Do you know who this guy's father was? Yeah, that's right. Do you know how many doors his dad parted for him? Okay. Oh, whoa, let's just throw a couple highway contracts the Moses kids' way. Maybe we'll get into the promised land. I even had a song about it back in architect school. When Pharaoh was in Egypt's land, Robert is Nepo. That's right. I even designed calling people Nepo. Now, the only reason anybody still talks about this guy is this book. This book. You know the book. The Power Broker. Ooh, Daddy, you're in the Bible, in the Quran, Daddy. I want to be in a book too, Daddy, a really boring one. You remember when you said that? You said that. Thank you for admitting it. Anybody out here actually read this thing? Anyone? Oh, you have? Oh, really? Should I write a book about you called The Fib Teller? Yeah. Nobody's read this thing, guys, because if they had, they would know it's all filler. Page 184, it's just a recipe for no-bake peanut butter balls. Chapter 17 is a transcription of beatboxing. Here's a clip from the audiobook. This goes on for 3 hours. The last 400 pages just say tear out to use as bad napkin. At least they were honest. Wouldn't be a good napkin. It's a fucking book. Okay? It's all hype. It's just something for a guy on a third date to claim to have read to sound smart. But he's not smart because he's not me. And neither are you, which is why I've come up with a very simple little memorable slogan to help you remember who really designed New York. Repeat after me. Moses knows this. Moses knows this. Me, see. Me, see. That's right, it's bilingual. Keep it going. Moses knows this. Me, see. Moses knows this. Me, see. Louder. Moses knows this. Me, see. Let him hear you in Spuyten Duyvil, motherfuckers. Come on, let's get it going. Moses knows this. Me, see. Shit. I'm sorry. Shit. I'm sorry, everyone. I have to go. That means Chris Christie just bit a kid. Thank you, New York. You're beautiful. You're welcome.
Boo is the first thing I have to say. So you people chant anything, won't you? You're just little chant. Oh, boy. Also, that man had an egg. He must be a millionaire. That joke's still funny, right? And look, I'm a proud Nepo baby. All right?
Yeah.
Me and Jack Quaid and Kate Hudson, we hang out all the time. Great. So, we should keep things rolling.
Yeah.
I don't know if there is...
Oh, yeah. Sorry, there's something else that wasn't quite on the agenda, but somebody sent in a video.
Oh.
Yeah.
Another fan?
Yeah, he says he's a big fan and he's sorry you couldn't be here tonight.
Well, via video, I cannot be kicked in the balls.
Yeah.
So let's take a look.
Dear Bobby, it's me, Nelson Rockefeller.
God damn it!
It's come to my attention that you and your decrepit intern are putting up another installment of The Power Joker on a date when I will be out of town. I wanted to send you a message telling you how deeply sorry I am to miss this show, as it's become one of my favorite semi-monthly events. I know we've had our differences in the past, but last time, when you managed to break the table you use as a desk and everything fell down, I realized that watching you embarrass yourself brings me more joy than pretty much anything else in this dang dirty world. I have a really special place in my heart for you, Bob. I hope you know that. Now, I wanted to write you this letter to show you I care, and also to give you some updates on my fun vacation out on Long Island, which is why I can't make it to the show. And I know what you're thinking. Long Island, that's so close. You could easily make it back in time. But I really can't. Traffic on the LIE is horrendous, and frankly, I'd rather be drawn and quartered than go on the Long Island Railroad. Honestly, whoever's responsible for my transportation options out here should be drawn and quartered. But I digress. I'll be honest, Bobby. Being an amateur comedy producer has not been very easy. As you know, I tried and failed to buy Caveat, my favorite intellectual-leaning indie comedy space. And then my improv to sketch class that I was teaching at the Second City went downhill quick. Turns out, social sensibilities have changed a bit since I first saw comedy in 1947. Personally, I blame the for that. Anyways, I felt like I just needed to get away for a second, and I'm having a really great time out here on Long Island. In fact, I found this really neat house. Something about it just called to me, so I decided to visit. No one seemed to be at home, so I just kind of went in. Here I am having a really good time in all the various rooms. Isn't this fun?
This is my
Look at
childhood
this
home!
adventure I'm having. Yeah, I know. I wish you were here too. Also, it turns out the house wasn't empty after all. There were these two women here who, small world, claimed to be your daughters.
My daughters!
So funny running into them here. Anyways, we all kissed a lot. Me and both of them. Not at the same time, but alternating. First one, then the other. It went on like that for a pretty long time. I wanted to tell you because you're my best friend. How's the show going? Is it fun? Is everyone having a good time? Do they miss me? You can be honest. I know they do. Oh, also, about that house. It turns out if I just stay here long enough, I can live here. So, I think I'm gonna do that. Don't worry, your daughters can stay as long as they want.
My daughters!
As long as they kiss me. You can come over too. Maybe I'll pick us up some ice cream novelties to enjoy together. Huh, I'm excited just thinking about that. Well, this is Rockefeller, signing off. I love you, Bob. I love you even more than I can say. Goodbye, or as they say here out on the island, pura vida.
No more off-agenda guests.
I thought it was nice.
You thought that was nice?
Yeah,
He kissed my daughters, Adrienne.
Oh, well, he seems like a charismatic guy. I'm sorry.
Oh, so why don't you go kiss him if he's so charismatic? That son of a bitch.
Take a while.
He can't
to
even
get
do
up.
green screen right. You could see through his eyes. All right. Look, well, I think we should just move on from that as quickly as possible and give away some prizes. Does that sound like fun? Amazing. So I'm gonna ask a few trivia questions. Just shout out the answer. Hopefully we'll identify the person who said it right. Maybe not. Who knows? Maybe you'll win a prize without doing anything. So, this is for anyone who has read the book. We know there are a lot of book readers out here. Moses was married twice, and both women had the same name. What was it? Mary. I heard him right here the clearest. Mary. Thank you. And you, what does he win?
You win a signed copy of Robert Caro's Working.
Wow! What a prize! Thank you. All right, this next question is for anyone at all, because we're going to talk about famous Roberts, since Robert's so popular. Another famous Robert, sort of a peer of mine, is Robert De Niro. Now, Robert De Niro has won 2 Oscars. Can anyone name either of the films he won an Oscar for? Raging Bull, right there. That is correct.
Oh, yeah.
What does he win?
He wins a commemorative cup from the 1965 New York World's Fair.
A commemorative cup! It's from the 1965 World's Fair, before they tested paint for lead. Keep that in mind. All right, our final question. This is about boroughs. This is about where people live. This is also about a Robert. The author of that goddamn book, Robert Caro, currently lives in New York. What borough does he live in? I heard right here in the checkered shirt, Manhattan. What does he win?
He wins a Groupon 60-minute boat tour of the Statue of Liberty for 2.
A 60-minute boat tour of Groupon. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the first half of our show. We're going to take a quick intermission. Please get another drink. Go to the bathroom. We love you. We'll see you in a little bit.
Welcome back to the stage, Robert Moses!
I hope all of you had time to buy and eat an empanada. They are made over there by someone. I wasn't given that information. So look, I know that my daughters were kissed by Nelson Rockefeller at the top of the show. I know that I also talked about incest earlier in the evening. It's not a thing I'm into. I'm not an incest guy. I know that incest has come up a weirdly large amount of times.
Yeah, twice. You just brought it up again.
Come on, let's go.
What is
All right,
it?
so this is going to be your prime Mary bedroom right here. It's got great interiors. You've got library and it's floor-to-ceiling wall.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Yeah?
What is this? What is happening?
Oh, hi. I'm Barbara Broccoli. I'm the head real estate agent here at Selling Basement. Nelson Rockefeller's not doing too well, so he sent me over to possibly sell this lovely real estate to this really hot couple. So, am I okay to say you're really hot? You're really hot.
Thanks.
Anyway, so,
I'm sorry, your name is Barbara Broccoli?
Yeah, I'm not related to that other broccoli. I'm not related. Yep, no, I don't own the Bond movies. I wish. Anyway, so the apartment will come with a tech person. They'll kind of be on call all the time.
I'm sorry, this is not a rentable place. This is the stage where I perform my show, The Power Joker. So this isn't available for rent.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That's not what Nelson said.
Okay, well, Nelson Rockefeller can go suck eggs. All right?
All right. I'll go tell my boss that.
Are pets okay, or?
Oh, pets? Absolutely okay. We have a few animals in the house tonight. And let me show you, okay, so you don't have a kitchen, but you do have a popcorn maker. You're gonna love it. You're gonna absolutely love it. And let me show you the his and her bathrooms. You just open the door and you can look at each other. They're back there.
Yeah, why don't you go show them that?
I'll go show them that. Anyway, you enjoy your little show.
It's not a little show, it's a big boy show for adults.
Oh, watch your step, hon.
It's a very manly, big boy adult show.
All right, we need you out soon.
Yeah, well, that Nelson Rockefeller, if he... What?
Oh, well, if I could get a card later, because I am looking, Barbara. I'll find her.
Absolutely, babe.
Thank you. It's
ridiculous.
tough in New York. It's brutal.
It is tough, even for me, and I build buildings for a living.
Yeah.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to our main guests for the evening. Please welcome to the stage 3 people actively involved in the fight for tenant rights. We're going to bring into the stage, from Brooklyn Legal Services, Liam McSweeney. From the Ridgewood Tenants Union, Raquel Namuche. And from Housing Justice for All, Elisa Martinez. Thank you. Thank you all for paying the toll.
Fuck a toll.
Thank you all so much for being here. So I just want to get a sense of who you are and what each of you do, if you wouldn't mind. Start with Liam, yeah.
Thank you. My name is Liam McSweeney. I am a tenant attorney at Brooklyn Legal Services. Yeah, shout out lawyers, I guess. No, boo. I think this is where I'm obligated to say I speak as Liam, not Brooklyn Legal Services. But yeah, I sue landlords and rep tenant associations.
My name's Raquel Namuche, and I'm a tenant organizer, and I volunteer with a group called the Ridgewood Tenants Union, which is a group I also started in 2014 because Ridgewood is always a neighborhood you're watching and unfortunately moving into now. And I get paid through a job I have as a tenant advocate at a legal service organization, which I'm not going to name.
Smart.
I'm Elisa Martinez. I am a community organizer and housing conservation coordinators. I heard somebody say Midtown earlier. If you ever have any housing issues, hit me up. We primarily work in Hell's Kitchen, Midtown, but we work a lot with Housing Justice for All, and you'll hear a lot about our campaigns, but the rent freeze is really what we're working for right now.
Yes, thank you all. Thank you all for being here. Now, when I think of tenant rights, I picture a bunch of sort of like bohemian art school graduates, very like Rent style, Rent the musical, not Rent the thing. Sort of like claiming squatters' rights in like an old factory. Is that what you're concerned with?
No, actually,
Okay.
it turns out no.
Great. So, Eliza, you said a Housing Justice for All, which I know is a statewide organization. So what specifically are you all focusing on at the moment? Is there a
Sorry, Robert, you meant to say Elisa. I don't know who Eliza is.
I apologize.
Right now we're working on the rent freeze campaign. I don't know if we have any rent stabilized tenants in the room. You're a rent stabilized tenant? Did your rent go up by 5.25% for a 2-year lease, basically? So we're trying to freeze the rent for rent stabilized tenants in New York. I saw you stop clapping. Don't worry. First step is talking about rent stabilized tenants and really getting a mayor in that's saying that they're going to, put in an RGB that will freeze the rent. And we really want to put in somebody in office that's going to have tenant protections forward.
Absolutely. Now, I want to talk a little bit about eviction, if you don't mind. Now, a lot of people believe that eviction is just a concern sort of for lower income folks. But recently there was an article from the Community Service Society of New York saying that now middle income households are facing higher eviction rates. So sort of what is going on there, and is that going to continue?
Well, congratulations, you're officially New Yorkers. You got your first eviction notice, right?
For the record, I have not received an eviction notice. I am not middle income. I am the highest form of income.
So our friends actually wrote that report. It came out, like you said, by the Community Service Society recently. The report actually talks about how the tenant protections we've won in the last several years have impacted the data we see now, the eviction data we see now. And then there's like a small part in that report that talks about how moderate and middle income folks are being impacted now by evictions. And so it's really unfortunate. We're starting to see more middle class folks in housing court. But I will say the report also does mention that the primary drivers of evictions after the pandemic is like rent gouging, and that tenants of color are still the most impacted by it, right? So even though middle income folks are now seeing more eviction notices, it is still something that impacts communities of color the most. Like if you go to if you're from Brooklyn, have you ever, raise your hand if you've been to Brooklyn Housing Court? Of course, no one. Someone's been to Brooklyn Housing Court? Okay, incredible. All you'll see in the lines waiting to get inside are people of color and black people and people of color, unfortunately, right? And so I think the fact that more moderate income folks are sort of experiencing this burden, right, of rent gouging and facing potential eviction just means that now we all have to organize, right, to make sure that doesn't happen to any one of us. Yeah.
I think too, I would just add on to that, like eviction is not just what you see in court, right? Like we think of evictions as like this ultimate violent act of the housing court system, of landlords, but there's so many other ways in which landlords evict tenants that's not gonna show up in these numbers. So I think you can think of it almost like policing, right? Like the harm of policing in New York City communities is not just from arrests, it's not just from jail. The harm from landlords is not just from an actual like sheriff dragging someone out of their apartment. There's so many ways in which landlords do like constructive evictions where they are forcing people out by harassing them, by just ignoring conditions for forever. Yeah, so it's we gotta broaden that definition of eviction as well.
And just out of curiosity, who are some of your favorite landlords? Do you have any? Who are your guys? That's sort of a WTF question. If anyone listens to that. No, that was, I mean, obviously.
I mean, is anyone here a landlord? Raise your hand. Don't be afraid.
I think they are definitely afraid. I think if a landlord is here, they are afraid. So look, let me walk you through a scenario. I'm Robert Moses. Hold for applause. And I want to build, let's say, a squash court where an apartment building is, right? So I want to get all the people out, and I want to tear it down. Now, in what foolish, misguided ways would you try to stop it? How do you stop something like that?
Well, I mean, you said squash. That it sounds like pickleball players right now, I would say. But
Yes,
yeah,
that's pickleball for millennials or whatever.
Well, there's a lot of ways. I mean, you can fight it in court. I won't bore you with all the legal stuff. I think it's really organizing that is the heart of this. Organizing gets us into court in general when like people like me can just gum it up and give time for like public opinion to change. But I actually really pass it over to these two for the organizing side.
I mean, so I will say in this area where we're in now, decades ago, Robert Moses tried to basically get all the people of color from this neighborhood right through the urban renewal plan. And one way the community here fought back is by creating their own community plan. And decades later, they won it, right? And they created a community land trust, and they got to stay in their homes. The city provided some money, and people got to stay in their long-term apartments here on the Lower East Side. So that all happened through organizing. And actually, organizing actually is powerful. I have a huge gripe. A lot of people will contact like my paid job or even like the tenants union, and they are moderate and middle income folks who are like asking, can you give me the statute for this thing that's happening to me because I want to write a letter to my management office about whatever is happening. These are normally things that people can Google, right? And these are people that are like, if you help me with this one thing, I will come to a tenant meeting. Do they ever come to a tenant meeting? No. If they came, we would be so much more powerful, right? And also, fuck a statute. No one cares about the law. In housing court, if you go to housing court, landlord attorneys are not practicing the law, unfortunately, in many cases. And maybe you see this every day in housing court. But the way we combat all this shit is by organizing.
Yeah, I mean, so much of what tenants experience is so incredibly isolating and scary. We're working with a tenant right now who literally has a beehive coming out of their wall. And so...
But maybe they're one of those
or
bee people.
maybe, right? And so... It's hard to bring that up in a small group with your friends, right? Like, hey, by the way, there's a beehive in my wall right now, right? And so one of the most beautiful parts of organizing is that it actually brings you out to talk to your neighbors and to talk about the things that you think you might be experiencing alone, and then you realize that it's actually everybody in your building that doesn't have heat or hot water or that's struggling with packages getting stolen or things like that. And so that's really the power that we have, and that's what we're trying to wield, especially in the mayoral election.
And you make honey out of it.
That reminds me of the beehive story. Reminds me of my favorite, which was one of my buildings. There was a whole branch mushroom growing off the wall because of the mold. That landlord.
Maybe you're a mushroom guy.
They might have been. The landlord thought that was fine because he said, He was getting trashed in the press at the time. The press started to cover it, and then he said, well, no one's going to sympathize with me, so I got to stay out of the press because I'm a landlord, I'm a cop, and I'm Italian. Is what he told me when he talked.
The big three, as they call it.
So, but you know, that's the idea to what they're saying. Like, I'm a lawyer, and I say, fuck lawyers, like fuck the law. Like that's not, because when you ask the question, like, what is tenants' rights? We have there's sort of like two ways we can define that, right? There's like actual statutes, and in New York we have stronger protections than, you know, other places I've worked, like Kansas City and Cleveland. And here we have like bigger, stronger Band-Aids, but they're still just Band-Aids. And I think there's like a whole different way you can define tenants' rights too, right? Which is sort of the broader idea of like, what would it take for tenants to actually have a right to their home? And that would take having the same level of power. I know you love that.
I love power!
As a landlord, and we are, you know, so that landlords can't just, like the law is like a notion, it's an idea to them. And right now, you know, we're a long ways away, I think, from tenants having rights in that sense.
I mean, if laws stop landlords, none of us would have jobs right now.
Yeah, oh yeah, laws stop, no, I mean, it's like ticker tape, you know, you just kind of run through it. Ticker tape, a finish line, you know what I mean. The tape at a finish line. What do you call that, finish line tape? Anyway, do you all have, and I want to hear, as see people so actively involved, do you have any housing hot takes? Do you have any, like, maybe potentially controversial opinions about the housing in the city? Dude, this is a safe space.
I mean, earlier I said when you asked about middle-income New Yorkers, I'm a native New Yorker, born and raised in Washington Heights, and it's so nice to see so many of you here and not have to go out to Brooklyn. And so it's interesting to see throughout the course of my life how tenants' rights have really changed and how we're trying to pull more people in. I don't know if I have a housing hot take.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you have a hot take on Lin-Manuel Miranda's musical In the Heights? Because that's Washington Heights, right?
No comment.
Go, Raquel.
He's not here. Anyway.
His father works for a big lobbying firm. I don't know.
There's a lot of Nepo babies, yeah.
I have many hot takes. I mean, I think I mentioned one earlier, you know, like if you can Google it, literally don't waste our time. We're literally helping seniors from being evicted in their apartments. Like if you literally have a college degree and can Google, like someone asked me, how do I sue my landlord in housing court? Google that shit. Literally. And if you really need our assistance, we'll get down to business and support you if you're gonna give back to the tenant movement. That's what I say. I'm real fun at parties.
All right. I got a hot take. I would say, you know, the landlords are basically the biggest remaining vestige of feudalism.
Whoa!
Might sound crazy.
Feudalism!
Right? I mean, but like they literally own the land, do nothing at all to make it productive, and then just rent seek, literally take rent from people out of the land, and just money is just lost for their BMWs, but not for repairs at any point. So I don't know. That sounds like feudalism to me. And I guess I would also just add, like, my other hot take would be, I think it's unethical to be a landlord at any level, even our mythical small one. You're just building wealth off owning property that you don't do, like, that someone else has to just like take off your hands and pay you money for. Like, that's terrible for the economy. It's clearly unethical to me.
Feudalism. It worked once. Why not try it again? Well, listen, it has come to the point where it's time for the call to action. And I believe that we have here the link to the Housing Justice for All rent freeze. So you can scan the QR code with the little dinosaur in it.
We already have 3 candidates that have pledged to say that they are going to freeze the rent if elected into office. And so we want to wield our power by getting signatures and making sure that we can say, hey, we have tenants we're really going to show our powers in the poll.
And who are those candidates? Do you mind saying?
Sure. Zoran Mamdani. I feel like I should have left that one for last. Jessica Ramos and Michael Blake.
Great. Remember, you can rank them in any order you want. You do not have to rank
It's not over yet, though. We just came out of some meetings today, and we're hoping to get even more mayoral candidates to pledge to sign to freeze the rent.
I absolutely love it. I want to thank you all. You are going to stay on stage because we are going to move on to the next section of the show, which is a wonderful game. You might know it. It is called Pictionary. So this is how this is going to work. Yeah, come on out. We're going to have the comedians who you saw earlier. Thank you for paying the toll. You two are going to be on a team with the wonderful Fallon Boles, who's coming on stage for the first time, right? And then these three are going to be one team. You all know how Pictionary works. I'm going to give these teams one at a time a clue. They're going to have to draw it, and the two people that aren't drawing are going to have to guess what it is. Adrienne is going to hold the sign because, unfortunately, we couldn't afford an easel. Why don't you come here? Easels in this city are very expensive. You guys can put your mics down, just on the ground. Mics can go on the ground. They're not that expensive, these mics. So why don't we have the wonderful team Tenant Rights go first? Do you mind being the first drawer? I'm going to give you a clue. Read that. Don't show it to the team. That's the whole point of the game. Great. All right, listen. This is how Pictionary works.
Building collective power.
Yeah, real landlord move. What? Don't show that to your team. Do you have it? Great. Okay. Do you have a marker? Yeah. We're going to put 30 seconds on the clock. Are we? I think so. Give it a minute. There we go. Can you two see okay? No. You can just stand. Yeah, great. Stand there. Stand there.
And then you come here, and then everyone can see.
Great.
You're in drama, people. Silence.
All right, and 3, 2, 1, draw! He's drawing. He's drawing. They do this on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, and it goes pretty smooth. Car! I heard car! That's correct! Car! Car was the first one. Amazing. So now, we're going to have Team Comedians go. Who wants to draw first? You're going to draw first? Amazing. Why don't you draw this one? Got it? Okay, here we go. They do this on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. Ready? 3, 2, 1, draw!
House.
A toaster.
Money.
Money.
Money! I heard money! That's correct! Yes. Right? You get it. It's Pictionary. So now we're going to step up the challenge a little bit. Who's next from team? It's okay. You don't have to be good. Being good isn't important. This is not tonight. It's not all being good. All right, here we go. You're gonna draw in 3, 2, 1. Draw. Interesting. And I've seen the slip.
Ghost.
Keep guessing. Yeah. Fascinating.
The bridge.
The bridge. I heard bridge. All right. Wonderful. Great. Who's next? I will give you a slip. Why don't you go with? I just had a slip for you. Yeah, why don't you do that one?
He's giving us the extra hard one.
Here we go. This is gonna get a little tougher. You got it? Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Draw.
A person.
Is it a purse?
Basketball player. March Madness.
Interesting.
The Knicks. Madison Square Garden.
Yes. They do this on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. Celebrities do this.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan! Amazing.
Are numbers allowed? We can do numbers?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. There are no rules. There are no rules here. Are you gonna challenge?
You put 23. I feel like I made it a little too obvious.
Okay. It doesn't count. Great.
Laws are meaningless.
Yeah, laws are meaningless.
The power of organizing.
Just like a landlord, we ignore the laws here. They get harder as they go. It's supposed to be a challenge. 3, 2, 1, draw. Interesting, a circle. Here we go. World?
Equator.
Now think about, what did Robert Moses do? World! World's Fair! Amazing! Thank you very much. Who's next?
Okay, it's me. Okay, here we go. That's good. Oh, come on!
It's a fun game! Pictionary, Adrienne, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Are you guys doing good?
Amazing! 3, 2, 1, draw!
Person, arms, legs. Robert Moses, yeah.
Nelson?
Hat, construction worker.
Can I put words?
No, it's Pictionary!
Designer,
You draw a man in a hat.
Moses.
Architect. Oh no, hold on.
Just X that whole thing out. What are you drawing?
Airplane.
Yes.
JFK Airport, Idlewild Airport. Before, it was LaGuardia.
He said LaGuardia.
Right at the buzzer. We'll give it to you, LaGuardia.
It was the mayor.
She was trying to draw the actual mayor, LaGuardia.
The mayor, LaGuardia.
That's what you got to do.
All right, who's from this team? Liam, you up again? We got a few more of these.
It's a long game.
Yeah, well.
You guys can't get this one, believe me.
We got 2 more.
You know this.
Here we go. Oh, you got this? Yeah. Great. 3, 2, 1, draw! Oh, money?
We can't see Liam. Money.
Cheat out.
Real estate money.
Landlord.
Interesting. Money going to man is what he's drawing. Money arrow man.
Come on,
circling
Liam.
money. Remember, you know this. Rich?
Okay.
Raise the red.
Oh, I'm sorry. We were looking for the New York State Human Resources Administration. Come on. All right. Thank you. We have one more slip.
Of HRA.
I'm sorry. Just do your best.
You got this.
You got this. You got this. Amanda Gordon, everyone.
Yes, Amanda.
Let's see it. Draw, go!
Up. It's going up. It's a highway.
A freeway. The Long Island Expressway.
Cross Bronx
close.
Expressway.
Think
It's a
about
toll.
what other highways.
He made the trucks.
Oh, it's the highway going to the beach.
But the
It's the highway
bus
going to
couldn't go
Jones
through.
Beach.
But the bus couldn't go through because the trucks, it was too high.
We were looking for a very specific road. We were looking for an extremely specific
Parkway,
road.
something.
Parkway.
It's always Parkway.
I love the energy here.
The Parkway. I don't have a driver's license. The Parkway.
Oh, that's time. Amanda, what were they looking for?
New York's Thruway 135.
We are doing 135. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank our wonderful panel again. Thank you all so much. Liam McSweeney. Oh my God, thank you all for coming out. Yes, Liam McSweeney, Raquel Namuche, Elisa. I'm sorry. Martinez. Thank you all very much, our 2 comedians as well. So we only have, and let's thank our holder, our easel, our wonderful Adrienne. So we have the last thing we have is a musical guest. I think they're going to need a minute to set up here. So we're just, what are you doing?
The tenants bought the place.
They're actually renting?
Yeah.
Why?
Nelson Rockefeller's a great landlord. I heard landlord slander.
There's a lot of landlord slander. I mean, it's not slander, I guess. I don't know where I would fall with landlords.
This is 16 feet. And
You
then
actually measured the stage?
Yeah, and then let's go up. Oh, yeah, we can just go up.
They're high ceilings. Why am I promoting this?
All right, that's good enough. My tenants will take it.
Great.
All right.
Are you guys good?
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Have a good show.
please welcome, I have slips if I think, your musical guest for the evening. He has an album coming out called Songs About Love, Josh Nasser!
Yes. Hello, everyone. Album is already out, but that is okay. What's up, guys? My name is Josh Nasser. I'm very excited to be here. This is my friend Andy Bell. He's going to be playing some music with me. This is not going to be comedy, so please do not laugh. We've had a lot of fun, but the laughs stop now, okay? But cool. Yeah, this is, we're gonna do two songs. I am working on an upcoming album, and we're going to do 2 songs off of that album. Hit it. Hope everybody's having a beautiful night. Yes. Ocean blue, I'm all alone. I can't let you in, so let me go. I don't wanna try and lose my friend. I'm drowning in your memory till the end. When I close my eyes, water rushes in. When I close my eyes, you're in my head. When I close my eyes, I can't get away. When I close my eyes, tides wash over me. Tides of red, tides of blue, tides of ice. Why do I love you? Why do I love you? Tides of red, tides of blue, tides of ice. Why do I love you? Why do I love you? I now face this side. You're in my mind. None of you guys. In my heart. Waves are tearing my body apart. I hate that I want you. There's no one to blame. I don't think I miss you. Then I hear your name and I close my eyes. Water still gets in. Then I close my eyes. I'm trapped in my head and I close my eyes. I wanna walk away, then I close my eyes. Tides wash over me. Tides of red, tides of blue, tides of ice. Why do I love you? Why do I love you? Tides of red, tides of blue, tides of ice. Why do I love you? Why do I love you? Cool. All right, to this side, I'm sorry, I'm gonna stay here for the next song. Okay, never mind. Okay, they got me, convinced me. So yeah, that first album that's out, songs about love. I mostly do comedy music. It's a comedy album, so if you listen to it and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Fair warning. But this new album, the whole thing we've been doing is like a bunch of comedy songs and then some not so funny songs. This next song is also a non-comedy song, but it does have a silly name. Just wanted to warn you. Anyways, this next song is called Whoopsie Doodle Doo. Whoopsie, whoopsie doodle doo. What else can you say so they can't blame you when you tear them apart, when you break your friend's heart, when you ignore the ones you love to pursue your art. Whoopsie, whoopsie doodle doo. What else can you say so they can't fault you? Let bonds come and go just to book another show. Was it worth it? I don't know. I fear I've ruined my life. I hope to God that I'm wrong. Missed hangs to work all night. My friends, they say so long. If I keep on going the way that I'm going, soon I'll be gone. But damn it, the way that I've longed and I've lost makes one hell of a song. So whoopsie, whoopsie doodle doo. How can you be alone when they're here to see you? Right or not, at this point I just have to play. All I can do is hope that I'll end up okay. Whoopsie, whoopsie doodle doo. Fuck it all, no choice but to follow through. I'm a god when I'm here on this stage. So what if I'm lonely? I'll just say, whoopsie doodle doo. I would hate me too. Thank you, everybody. Give it up for the Power Joker!
Josh Nasser, everybody! Wow, whoopsie doodle doo. I want to very much thank. Did he pay? It doesn't matter. I want to thank everyone so much for coming out tonight, and I also want to announce that we will be back in May, on May 25th at 5 p.m. with our very special guest, Zohan Mamdani! That's right! Moses versus Mamdani! So please, one of the men who has agreed to the rent freeze, he's an amazing man who I'm gonna tear to shreds. So please, come back in May and see us. Thank you all very much for coming out. Have a good night and goodbye!